Wyclef Jean, BKS1 Radio. Let's go.
This is Essence Atkins, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Hi, this is Melba Moore, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
Yo, check it out. What's the deal? This the chef. Giving a big shout out to my peoples. Big KS, you already know what it is. Salute.
What's up? It's your girl Monifa, and I'm hanging with BKS1 Radio.
Hi, I'm Iyanla Van Zandt, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
BKS Radio, baby.
Hey, this is Jasmine Guy for BKS1 Radio.
What's going on? This is Lamont Rooker, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Shout out to BKS1, the best kept damn secret in the business.
Hey, what's up? This is Raven Goodwin from BET's Being Mary Jane, and shout out to BKS1.
Hi, this is Leon. You're watching BKS1 Radio.
BKS1. God bless y'all.
And welcome to the Owl Show right here on BKS1 Radio. It is your girl, Latoya Chanel, and I am back in the building. I know. It's been a bit of a summer, done some traveling, done a few things, but I am back in studio, and I am so amped to get tonight's show started because we're continuing a conversation. Why? Why are we continuing conversation? Because we are in the middle of our healing journey, everybody. And I want to know how you all are doing on the healing journey. And then I'll let you know how I'm doing, on this journey right now. But we are going to continue our conversation, and we have some amazing guests who you should know their faces by now. You should know their faces by now. Because why? Why? Because we have been doing this series for a minute now, and we have some great shows that we have done in the past. And in the event that you have not seen the shows that we have already done on the topic of flags, red flags, and then eventually yellow flags, and then eventually green flags, which we're going to get into. But if you have not seen the flag series from the ladies from the Yoshida Academy, then you need to either go on YouTube or go on Facebook or go on TuneIn or go on Spotify, and you need to either listen or watch those shows because there is some great information and there is some gems and jewels and tips that have been said in these shows that you may need. I don't know. I need them. I know for a fact that I've needed them, and I've needed to have these conversations, and maybe you might need it too. So if you do, please make sure you go to the Owl Show either on YouTube or BKS1 Radio on YouTube. Go to the TuneIn app. Go to Spotify, WBKS1 Radio on Spotify, and make sure you go back and listen to those episodes because we do archive them. And so you can definitely go back and find them, or you can find them on the Owl Show page right on Facebook. I don't know how you're listening tonight, but welcome, however you are choosing to log in, and we are so happy that you are here. Now, I don't want to waste any more time because we always end up having such a good conversation that we go over, so I'm not going to waste another minute with intros, but just know that I am so happy that you are here today, and I'm always happy when I am back in the studio. So, please help me welcome to the virtual studio today the ladies of Yoshida Academy, Miss Angelica, because I love to say it the way she did when I first met her, Miss Angelica Ogando and Minue Yoshida. Yes! Welcome back, ladies. Welcome back. How are you?
We are doing fantastic. Thank you so much for having us here once again. My name is Angelica Ogando. Thank you so much for saying it the way I love to say my name because that's my name. Yes. Everybody calls me Angie. I am the COO of Yoshida Academy with my amazing business partner who is co-founder here, Minue Yoshida. Yay! And it is a pleasure to be back.
Yes, I love it. I love when you guys are on because it feels like home when you guys are on. The conversation feels like home when you guys are on. And so I love it. And without further ado, let's get into tonight's topic. We are continuing on with our red flag series. Why? Because there's obviously red flags in everything. So no matter what relationship you have, whether it's a romantic relationship, your relationship at work, your career, friendship, family, whatever it may be, there's always red flags in everything because that's just life, right? So we're going to continue on. We began to touch on it a bit in our last show. We were talking about red flags in friendship. Okay, you got that, everybody? Red flags in friendship. And we had begun discussing what it is, how to recognize what red flags are, right? And what you should do about those. Am I recapping that correctly? Okay. Both of you are like, yes.
So yes, and so we began both with love and friendship. So we didn't get fully to discuss what the friendship red flags look like, but we spoke a ton about the relationship and what does even, a sentimental relationship look like. And so, Minoy, what did we say when it came to red flags?
Well, in relationship, we did say something about be aware and be really on the look for any signs that you have on the red flags, right? Because some relationships could look like, there's something off, but I don't know what it is. In Spanish, we'll say, un no sé qué, qué sé yo. So it's like a je ne sais quoi. And you say, I don't know what it is. And so we're going to tell you today what it is.
Okay.
And because we need, not today, actually, we've been telling you every time we have this show, we've been telling you what it is. And the more aware you are of what is that thing, the more you can identify it immediately. And then we suggest that between fight, flight, or freeze, that you fly. Just like, don't fight it and don't freeze. Because if you freeze, you become a doormat. If you fight it, then you become, this very crazy friend with relationships that are more codependent than anything else. Fly. We suggest that you fly. To not be with people that you don't want to be. There is no need for that. And that's the idea of the red flags, is to set an alarm. And so we spoke last time about how do you catalog this type of situations that are the red flags. And the first one we mentioned was the toxic.
Yes.
And so it's like, it feels bad. Like, I don't know if I should talk, but it's like, so it's slow and lengthy, and then I feel bad and my body's reacting. And then we said the abrasive. So it's like, okay, this is hurting me.
Yes.
Like, and here's the thing about toxic. The toxic feels like, so around you, by the way, red flags are not only given by you that you feel them, but red flags is something that the rest of the world can see. And so they call it, Chanel, that friend of yours is like, right? That could be toxic, no?
Yeah.
Chanel, your friend. Okay, that thing. That's a flag.
Yeah.
And you should never say, don't mess with me, mind your own business. Like, no, these are people telling you that something is wrong. But the abrasive one is the one where someone just told you, Chanel, when you're with this person, you're really someone else. There's like, I like you more when you're with this person. That's a green flag, right? And then there's the red flag is, what's going on? So it's a red flag for the world.
Yeah.
But also, someone else in your life should feel like is at ease, should feel like it's natural, should not feel forced. It should not feel like I have to be someone else. And so when it happens like that, then it's kind of abrasive, and little you become someone else, and then they're suffering. By the way, alert here, don't be the victim. You can't blame the other person. Angie, I wasn't like this, and because of you, I'm like this. No. Don't be the victim. Own it.
You can't. Yeah, you don't get to do that. You don't get to do that. I want to bring up one of the red flags. So, all across social media, everyone's always some sort of expert on something, right? And so there are so many memes that are going around that are saying those little jokes from your friend. Watch that. right? So
yeah.
so those that meme I've seen at least 6 or 7 times while scrolling over the last week, and it's always something to the nature of those little jokes from your friend means it's jealousy, or those little jokes, believe them, or those little jokes, watch them. So what type of red flag can those little jokes be?
Oh, we love that you bring that up, because before this call, Minue and I were just talking about that. Literally, we were just talking about, those little jokes, those inside jokes, they call them the inside jokes that your friend has. But what they're doing is that they are putting salt on a wound that you have open. And so they'll send you a joke that is related to something that you shared with them that's very personal. And now you've become the butt of the joke. And so they keep sending you these things every time. So I'll give you an example. There was someone who kept sending me, like we had a disagreement on something, and I had forgiven and moved on. We had a discussion about what happened. Yeah. But the person kept sending me, I call them the subliminal messages, the jokes of, I'm with my therapist. I'll give you a specific, I'm with my therapist, and, I have 2 choices. The therapist gives me 2 choices, one to heal and one to continue the problem. And then the response was, I'll continue to be the problem because I am the whole problem.
Oh, wow.
And you're like, oof. And so this person had been sending me, little jokes like this the whole time now for, a while. And I responded back with, I was very assertive, and I responded back with, I choose healing and peace because that's where I am in my life. And the jokes stopped.
Yeah. We were talking about some of your friends that make these comments of, like, if you're telling someone, hey, great news, I'm going to be featured in color ad, which that's, the person that we're talking to was saying that. And we say, be mindful that whomever really loves you and likes you, the reaction will be of joy from your joy.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a formula. I'm happy for your happiness. So the reaction from a healthy relationship will be, yay, great, I'm so happy, I can't wait. The other one is like, oh, really? Because I heard it's horrible. Are you sure? Do you belong? What are you gonna wear? Isn't it super far? Like, they start looking for all these negative things that you go with. Are you serious now? And beneath that could be jealousy. Envy. It could be envy. Look at my new boyfriend. Oh no, I don't think he's handsome. I have a new job. Oh, are you sure? Because you hated your last job. Oh. And then it's even worse. To Andy's point, they now pinpoint something that you said in confidence, or something that it's a weakness of yours, to use it to make the joke.
Yeah.
Let's see if you caught it. Let's see if congratulations on this new thing that you have. Let's see how much do you last there?
Ooh. Someone had made a comment about me with respect to that, about something I was doing, a project that we were working on, because I don't post a lot on my personal page. Everything that gets posted is on the business pages. People just want to find something to talk about.
Right.
And so they'll go towards the side of something negative. Oh, let's see if that's really going to work out for you. And I found out about it, that it was said, and I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah. And that's the origin of all of these memes. Be careful of the little jokes from folks who are supposed to be your friends, because there's a lot of meaning behind these quote unquote little jokes. There's a lot of emotion behind these little jokes, and there's a lot of negative behavior, negative thought, probably a negative conversation that someone has had about you behind these little jokes that you really have to be wary of.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And some of the things that we were talking about is that when you receive them, though, like what should you do? And you should start by understanding where they're really coming from. And they're coming from pain. They're coming from sadness. They're coming from emptiness. And when you receive them, we strongly suggest do not take them personal, because are they really towards you? Or are they the reflection of the feeling that this person is having towards themselves? Because if you have peace inside of you, you don't go out creating wars.
Yeah.
If you're happy, you don't go outside creating unhappiness. If you're super joyful, you don't go out with bitterness. Like whatever it is that you went out with is because you have it inside. And so we always say it's a mirror. You're reflecting the other. Whenever the other is telling you this funny haha joke, by the way, if it's a joke, it shouldn't require the explanation of just kidding, JK, I'm just joking. Like, if it's a joke, it should be funny, and it should not be requiring you to tell me that it's a joke.
It should be funny for all.
Yeah, like, oh, it's funny
for
you.
all. It shouldn't need a disclaimer. It shouldn't need an explanation on why it's funny. It should just be funny, haha. Especially if this is your friend, right? Because you're supposed to know each other and you're supposed to have a relationship. So you shouldn't have to do that. You shouldn't have to give that disclaimer. So yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it's not funny. And at the end, again, it has to do with the pain that this person is going through, or the moment that this person is going through. At the end, it's this type of comments are projections of what the other person has inside.
Yeah.
Have nothing to do with those jokes.
Right.
Completely. So then let's level set. What is a friendship? So let's define friendship. The definition of friendship is a mutual relationship between two people who have affection towards one another. And now, when this affection exists, there are certain things that we should have in common. And it should be our values, right? Some of our beliefs, our belief system, not necessarily all of them, but there should be some commonality, because that's where the affection comes in. And there's also trust and mutual respect. And so the question here is, because in our last conversation, we spoke about the behaviors, toxicity, which Minoy did a great job recapping at the beginning of the show.
Yes.
And we spoke about the emotional aspects, but now we want to dig deep. We want to go deeper into behaviors, because I just gave you the definition. I said it's mutual affection between two people who share values.
Mm-hmm.
But the question here is, what are values? Minoy, what are values?
What are values? Just like in friendship, in love, like can be specific.
In general, because our values don't necessarily change. They may take a different order depending on the relationship, if it's business, if it's love, if it's friendship, but there is a definition about values.
What is a value? So a value, it's the repetition of a behavior that you had made it part of your everyday behavior, right? And then when you repeat this value without thinking about it, when it becomes yours, then it becomes a virtue. Because now it's part of you without thinking. So the value of generosity, right? It's an outcome and a behavior that I want to create. And so generosity, and for example, is giving that thing that someone else need, even if I need it. Mm-hmm. That's generosity. The other one is not. So I want to be a generous person. So I want to bring that value to life. To bring it to life, I have to act generously. So then every time that I hear, oh, I need this, here it is. Oh, do you have 5 minutes? That's my time. Yes. have my 5 minutes. Oh, can you support me on this initiative, this project? I'm generous. I will support you with my efforts. You can give time, money, effort, right? So I'm generous with my things. Okay. When I do it and do it and do it and do it, and that's who I am, then I become, and then generosity is my virtue.
So it's a belief system and an action, not just a belief system alone.
It has to be in action. Otherwise it's just like something that maybe a goal, maybe a strategy, but it's not real value until it actually lives.
Right. So having something in common, because one of the things Angie was saying is it's having something in common and having the same values. I feel like we have a lot of friendships where it's based off of only the belief system. And this is why there's no reciprocity. It's belief system only without action. And when you have a belief system without action, so it's really easy to meet someone, say you met someone while traveling, or say you meet someone on your job, or say you meet someone through a family member or through another friend, and you feel like, oh no, we share the same values because they believe, fill in the blank, right? But can you really have a connection off of belief system only without the action?
No, I think it just becomes a wishful thinking, It's like, oh, I wish we were more united as friends.
Right.
Like,
right.
Well, I'm glad you wish that. No, oh, I wish we were a happy family. Well, oh, I wish you were this, or I wish I was that. But so it just becomes a happy thought. I think what we're missing, the point with people and reciprocity, is that the hierarchy that you give to this value is different from the hierarchy that I give to mine, right? Which is okay, by the way. We don't have to have the same hierarchy. Like maybe time is more important for you than loyalty, and maybe punctuality, and maybe quality, or I don't know, the values that you have. Maybe love is more important. So we don't have to match the same hierarchy, but I need to know your hierarchy so that I understand you, because reciprocity is not one for one. It's reciprocity is, I'll give you an example of this. Is very a simple one, but it's an easy one to understand. A friend of mine said, boy, you guys, when you talk, you interrupt each other. It's just like, I don't know how you do this. And I'm always laughing, saying, well, I grew up in a Latino household. We talk on top of each other. Like, for us, we just continue the conversation. So respecting people's dialogue in that moment might be important for me, as it is important for you. But to me, it's not on the same level in the hierarchy as it is to you. Like, to you, it's way up here. Let me talk. And until I'm not done, do not interrupt, because this to me means respect. All right. To me, I don't care. Interrupt me 50 times. I'm Latina. I'll pick it up. We'll talk about this later. Whatever. Okay. Now, because it's important for you, if I love you in this reciprocity, then I make it my business that when I talk to you, I don't interrupt you. And because this is important to me, then you make it your business when you're talking to me, that you shouldn't be waiting for the cue to speak. Just jump in the conversation.
Yeah.
At the end, it's about the other, not about you.
Right. Right.
Now, I do have to add one thing. Your values should be somewhere in the list, because have you ever met somebody and you observe them, you watch them, you're in an event, and something about the person seems off. And then you hear a conversation they're having, you're like, oof, I don't like that person. Have you ever had that experience?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Why do you think that happens?
Why do I think it happens?
What do you think you automatically ruled the person out and said, oh no, I don't want anything to do with that person without even getting to know them? What do you think that is?
Based off of previous experiences I've had in the past. So for instance, when we were talking about red flags in love relationships and we were talking about toxic relationships, and I mentioned that I didn't come from a toxic family structure. So yelling and screaming and cursing each other out wasn't a part of my love language. And I was in a relationship where that was a part of how they communicated with each other, and it was just fine. And it wasn't for me. So in this example that you give, if I leave out of here right now and two people are hollering, yelling, and screaming at each other, I'm going to say, "Ooh, no, these are not my people. I don't want to be a part of that," because based off of my experience, that's toxicity for me. And that person is toxic. So my mind naturally attaches the definition to these people who are outside and says they must be toxic too. Because, the glimpse of what I'm seeing is them hollering and screaming at one another.
Now, I'm going to take it one more step for you. There's a value that's connected to that. What's the value? What is it that you are observing when two people are arguing and hollering at each other that does not exist in that moment?
Respect.
That's it. Is respect part of your value system?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, then that's what it is. You will automatically rule something out because your values are so inherently inside of you. It's part of your DNA.
Yeah.
So you will go through a checklist subconsciously the minute you witness something that goes against your values that will make you say, nope, that there's something about that person. I don't know what it is, but that's just not my person.
Yeah.
It's not my people.
Yeah,
they're not somebody that I would hang out with.
Right.
And more than likely, it's because one of your values came into conflict with whatever you observed.
Right.
On the other person.
Right.
That's what happens.
Right.
And then the conversation changes towards, if you don't mind, but the other person minds, then again, it's not about you, right? And because I have friends that is like, oh, I love cursing. I go to social media and I was like, what the, okay, that's you. And guess what? There's this guy called Gary Vee, and he curses left and right, and people love it. And he types it, he says it. It's okay. There's an audience for that. Now, we don't do it, for example, in Academy. It doesn't mean that we don't do it in person, by the way. When we're in the car, I'm cursing in Spanish left and right, like everything I can think of. It's just us. We're just kidding. There's not a lot of people, but we've got to be respectful.
Yes.
Because there are many people that, due to their values, their religion, their customs, cursing represents something else. Right. Now, if I am an egotistical person, I'll say, well, this is who I am, and you deal with it, and that's your problem, and it's not mine, because this is who I am, and if you love me how I am, you will just suck it up, and right. So that's an egotistical person. Real love, like friendship, is love, right? Real love is not doing what I want, but what you want.
Yeah, yeah.
Real love would say, you don't like it, I don't do it with you and to you.
Right.
I'll turn around and do it with my friends.
Yeah.
They don't care, but you do. Now, when you're with me, since I don't care, then go ahead and do it. And so it's what the other person actually take it as a representation of respect.
And I'm so glad that both of you are bringing up the respect portion of the conversation, because I feel as though, and I don't know, I think at this big age I am now, you would think that people would get in relationships and in friendships and there would be mutual respect. I am finding, though, not for myself personally, but just, looking online and you watch all of these reality TV show. Well, I don't watch them, but, there's all of this fighting in different things that you're seeing on these reality TV shows. And again, it's not, first of all, obviously there's a lack of respect, but then there's also, you did not have a foundation of values and respect to create a friendship in the first place. So I feel like a lot of people nowadays don't have a lot of real friendships. I feel like people nowadays are so quick to call someone a friend without having real meaning and real basis. And I don't even feel like we are at a point in life where you can do that. A friend is not a word that I, take lightly. It's not a notion that I take lightly, but I do feel that a lot of folks do. And I don't know. So I guess my question to you right now is, what is an absolute red flag that this person should not be your friend, your acquaintance, your whatever? This is flight mode. We're in flight mode. It's time to go. What are some examples of that?
Great question. See, the thing is that this is why the definition of friendship and what it means to you is so important. You have to have it clearly defined, because what's flight for you and a red flag for you might not be for me. For example, for me, it's someone who crosses my boundaries. If I have told you that I don't like it when people call me out of my name, when we have an argument and you continue to do that, that's my biggest red flag. Whether it's a love relationship, a friendship, even with family, you call me out my name, it's a wrap for me.
Yep.
I've lost all respect for you.
Yeah.
That is my boundary. But if I have not shared with you what my boundaries are, I haven't communicated to you what my expectations of a friendship is, or even what my definition is, then how do I know what's, fight, flight, or freeze for me in a friendship?
Okay.
It begins with our mutual definition, right? Like, you tell me what friendship means to you, and I'll tell you what it means to me. It's about communicating what are my boundaries and what are yours, so that I don't cross them.
And to me, a red flag is when you say something and you do something else. Like, oh, I love you. You're the best. Let me know what you need from me. Hey, I need this from you. Oh, I'm busy. I can't. I don't have the time. My grandmother on a scooter. My dog ate my homework, so it's like, okay. Or vice versa, like, I have so many people that if I go to like WhatsApp, which is what I use all the time, that if I go and look for their names, they've only asked me for something, that they only look for me because they need something. Can you give me this information? Can you review this thing? Can you help me with this thing? Can you connect me with this thing? And I'm fine. Trust me, like, I'm giving, right? But you're only going to look for me because you need something.
When you need something, yeah.
Because you need something. Oh, ooh, no, red flag. Like,
That's your red flag, yeah.
My red flag is you said something and you did something else. And if you say that you're my friend, then I don't want to hear words. I want to see actions. My mom told me that a long time ago. She said, "Mijita, the friend does not want or wish you well. The friend provoke is not the word, makes it happen.
Provides.
El amigo provides, y el amigo no quiere tu bien, procura tu bien. Cures? Looking for the word.
Make sure, the translation is make sure that you are well. That you are okay.
The friend makes sure, well-being. Yeah, the friend makes sure that provides wellness or makes sure that you're well.
Right.
El amigo
We're not spectators.
Procura tu bien. And
Right.
so, and you know what? And one of the things that I learned, and I learned it from Angie, but I learned it from my friend Asia, from my friend Raquel. If I'm sick, they don't say, "Oh, do you want chicken soup?" No. What I see is, "Ding dong.
Yeah.
What's up? I bring you chicken soup."
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, oh wow, right? It's like, don't tell me, show me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that I feel like that's in different levels of friendships, right? Because as you get older, you have friends for certain reasons. There are friends that serve certain purposes, and then sometimes you have your inner circle of folks, and then sometimes you have those people who are your friends, and you know, some you share every single thing with, some you share only some things with. Because you do respect each other, but you know, maybe this person has a different belief system, right? Or different values. So, you know, that you have this friend for this reason and that friend for that reason. And you're supposed to know where to put people and how to deal accordingly. Or at least I feel like you should. But let's go into some more of these toxic behaviors. So we're saying someone who goes against your values, lacks boundaries. We jotted down as well. Lacks boundaries. And why do we allow that? What are we avoiding? What are you afraid of? Let's talk some more about lacking boundaries. Because again, I told you, I've been on this whole boundaries kick with my therapist for the last year and just did not know that my boundaries were just as weak as they were. They're not now. They're not now. I actually told my therapist in our last session, I was like, is there some sort of achievement award or something that you can give me for boundaries? Because I have really, really, really worked on this. And I feel like I need an award because I've really worked on this over the last year. But let's talk some more about lack of boundaries in these friendships.
Oof. One of the things that I have discovered for this lack of boundaries is this. I understand that you just went to see that movie and you want me to see it. Oh, you should watch it. It's great. I get that. I understand that you just taste this dish and you want me to try it. You should try that. It's so good. So it's a natural thing for humans to have the other person experience something that you experienced because you perceived it as good. I get that. That's a natural thing. When I start telling you, you should fill in the blank, that's a problem. Angie, you know, I speak loud, Angie doesn't. So then I go with Angie, you should raise your voice. And then Angie will tell me, yeah, and you should be more quiet.
Right. Right.
So, you know, you have your friend, and your friend might be more social, less social, more shy, less shy, more organized, less organized. You know, like we all have our things, you know. Oh, you should be more artistic and you should be more realistic. So here's the thing. Who am I to tell you what you should or shouldn't, what you must or mustn't, what you have to, all this. Wait. So what is this boundary when I'm messing with your personality? That's a boundary. It's like I'm asking you to be someone you are not.
Yeah.
No, and by the way, maybe I'm just saying, oh, you should put more salt to the beans. Okay, that's completely circumstantial. That's accidental. That's the tip of that doesn't matter. I'm talking about essential things.
Yeah.
When someone is asking you to change your essence because your essence is off boundaries, it's off limits. This is my essence. And so, do you love me as I am? Or do you want me to be someone else? To me, that is one of the issues with boundaries. That will be my boundary, is my essence. Angie, what it will be a boundary for you?
I love that you said that, because I'm going to piggyback off of what LaToya said, and you had mentioned about I have different friends for different things in my life. I don't necessarily say I have different friends for different things in my life. I just think that the friends that I have now, and I shared this with Minue recently. I said, I feel that I'm in a place in my life where I truly am grateful and happy because I have the right friends. The ones that were supposed to fall off left, and I was like, ciao, bye, see you later. I wish you the best. Because right now I have friends that I can say truly respect me.
Yeah.
We may not speak. There are some friends that we connect maybe twice a year, but the relationship is the same as the friends that I speak with every day. They're just so busy in what they're doing that it's okay. Because when we reconnect, we talk about God, the things that we have in common. They're my friends that we talk about God. What are you doing? How can I help you? Oh my God, I miss you. And the other day, a friend of mine told me, Angie, because I said, I love you. And she said, Angie, do you know that that's the first time that you told me you love me? Because you usually say, love ya. And I said, you know that Minue taught me to say, I love you in friendship. And I told her I accept the lesson because what I had realized is that I had connected the I love you to the personal. It has been over 6-7 years since I got divorced that I haven't said the word I love you.
Wow.
I always say love ya.
Yeah.
And Minue said, no, Angie, you have to say fully the word I love you.
Yeah.
Because that's how somebody's gonna know that you truly do.
Yeah.
So my boundary is not being able to tell a friend that I love them is not my friend because I have to feel it. Anybody who knows me knows that I don't say those words lightly.
Right.
I have a lot of acquaintances. People tell me, you know the whole world. Yeah, they're acquaintances.
Right.
But my friends, I can count in a hand.
Yep. Absolutely. I love that. And again, like you said, when it comes to boundaries in friendships. Okay, so I'm going to go into my next question. When it comes to boundaries in friendships, and I asked this question in loving relationships too, where is the line drawn between trying to help and assist a friend in an area and violating or crossing a boundary? But how do you navigate that space? Example, and this is a really, 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 really good example because we've all been here. Your friend is dating a guy whom you know is no good for her.
Ooh.
We have all been there. I've been on both sides of that, right? And so, and so, how do you say something? Should you say something? What questions do you ask? Do you not ask questions? Is there a boundary there? Because this is your friend. This is your friend, like your sister friend, whether you grew up together or went through a lot together or have mutual respect and values with this person. When, how, or should you say something in a situation like that? And of course, every situation doesn't have to be one like that. I've been actually even in personal situations with friends and their children. And of course, you can't tell a mother something about their child, but I've been in very sticky, very hairy situations like that. And this person is your friend and you clearly see that there's something going on or something's not right or this is not of the person. Just as Minue said in the beginning, when other people are like, well, what's wrong? What, you're not yourself when you're around this person, or you're doing something totally different. So when you're seeing that in this example with your friend, when, how, or should you say something?
I love this question because I just had this happen to me. You know what I learned? So this is Angie, and
Okay.
I'll allow the two of you to have your own personal response.
Yeah.
What I have learned just this week is that I had to re-establish expectations with my friend.
Ooh.
Because I realized there's a friend that was going through this. The friend got annoyed that I mentioned something. And I said, you know, previously I asked you, how much am I allowed to tell you or give you feedback when it comes to this? And you told me, if you have to knock me upside of my head, you do that.
Everyone says that until it's time.
I did. Everybody says that. Everybody and their mama, sister, brother, everybody says that, right?
Until it's time.
Then you do it, and the friend is like, you need to mind your business. Why do you keep repeating the same thing? But you told me, I asked you. And I said, okay, listen, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to ask you once again, how much do you want me to say or not say? And how much do you want me to step back? And the person said, I'd really appreciate it if you don't say anything anymore. And I said, but you love the person, right? You love them. You know that they're in a toxic situation. What do you do?
What do you do?
You respect them because respect is part of my values. And you say, okay. And
you have to respect their boundaries.
Right, because you know what? Who am I to stop their learning process? The thing is, they haven't learned the lesson. And I am literally standing in the way.
I need a bell. I need a bell or something to ring. I need something. Oh my God, I don't have it. Or applause or something. I need something. Say that one more time. Who are you to do what?
Who am I to stop the other's learning process?
Ah! I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. I absolutely love that. Something I had to learn for myself, but I absolutely love that. And so when you're in the process of thinking, okay, this is my friend, I see this is happening. Do I value this friendship enough where I know if I say something, it will ruin the friendship or peel away at the fabric of this friendship? So if I don't say anything, am I being a real friend when I see them in this situation? And yes, like you said, they previously said, knock me upside my head and say something. However, if you have had the discussion, listen, if they have said to you, I don't want to know anymore. Yes, I may have said that before, but right now I don't want to know. And you still have to be their friend. And the way you can still be their friend and put some sort of grounding to what it is they're going through while you're their friend is, I cannot stop their process of learning. It is not your place to stop their process. This is their process of learning. And you saying maybe you should get out now means maybe there's something they're not going to get. Oh, God, I love that. Okay. I absolutely love that.
Here's the thing about a friend telling you, don't tell me anything. That is a problem.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
That already itself is a problem.
It is.
I don't hear about it. I'm going to tell you something. If I say this to my sister, you know what she responds? I don't give a blip if you don't want to hear about it. You're going to hear about it. Because I'm your sister, because I love you. Whether you want to hear or not, I will tell you because I love you. And you're going to suck it up and you're going to hear about it because that's who we are. Because we are two people willing and open to an open conversation where you hear me and I hear you in freedom.
Yeah.
And by the way, this is not just friendship. This is red flag for anything. If your partner is telling you this is, going back to red flags relationships.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear about it. Give me a second. No, wait. Because if you're telling me you don't want to hear about it, what you're doing is I want to close the dialogue on this topic. And we're closing doors. sooner or later you're going to be walking on a mind camp where it's like, oh, if I give a step, it's going to explode.
Yeah.
That's the type of relationship that you want.
Right.
That you're walking and you're like, oof, I don't know where to put my step. See, that's not freedom. And it feels really tiring.
Yeah.
I don't know what words to mention so that the other person is not going to feel.
And then you begin walking on eggshells in this relationship, whatever kind of relationship it is, friendship, family, love.
But then it goes back to your values.
Yeah.
And so here it is, a red flag. We're not connected in the same values. I'm going to start reassessing this friendship and where I move you to. Minue has a great analogy. She says, you should look at relationships in the following way. You know, the dresser that you have in your bedroom, there are drawers. And so you are going to put people in their appropriate drawer. You should have a title on each of these drawers. And then you're going to move each person into the drawer.
I do that now.
But so if it's a real friend, then it's a friend sister or a friend brother, right? Or and so this person should know that your comment is coming from a good place. So one of the first red flags is, I don't want to hear about it. For me, that's a red flag. Now, you've told the person, and you've told the person, and you've told the person. I like playing, I call it baseball. Advice is the baseball advice. I tell you once, strike one. I'll tell you twice, strike two. And then I tell you 3 times, and I tell you, love, this is the 3rd time that I tell you, and I'm going to stop because I love you. And I'm going to stop just because I know you need to go through your process. I want you to know, and this is very important, but I want you to know that I'm with you through this journey, that I'm with you through your process, and that no matter how many times you fall into the same hole, I'm not judging you. I love you. And that doesn't matter. I don't want you to come back to me to tell me, oh, you were right. I'm not looking for that.
Not looking for that. Yeah.
I'm not looking for that. And so if you sooner or later realize, oh yeah, this person is not for me, please come to me knowing that I'm not going to tell you I told you so.
Yeah.
I'm not going to judge you. I'm going to hug you and say, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
Because here is the other side of what this scenario is putting. I'm telling you. You don't want to hear it. Well, whatever. Then don't talk to me about it. And then I make a distance.
There's a wedge. Yeah.
Wedge. Well, but there's a problem.
Yeah.
Because if this person is in real need of a friend, because emotionally they're in a bad place, or maybe physically they might be going through a dangerous situation. You alienated that friend. Then that's on you. And that's not okay. Because I have friends that I gave up on telling them. And I didn't realize and know that them pushing me away was yelling for help. I distanced myself, not knowing that they really needed me beside them. And they were in danger. And I was far away. And I regret misinterpreting the don't tell me more, or I don't want to hear. I misinterpreted into I don't want the friendship. Please stop insisting, instead of respectfully.
Yeah.
And I know I told you I wouldn't say this. Now I'm just checking on you. I'm here for you. Like that checkpoint has to happen,
right?
So that you by accident just alienate and push someone away.
So how do you do that, right? So we're coming to our last 5 minutes of the show, and I know we have our last bullet point that we wanted to talk about here, and it was the letting go part. When do you know, like you said, you misinterpreted being pushed away? When do you know how do you know the difference between giving that person their space to have that lesson that they need and have the experiences that they need without you saying something, or this being the point where you should let go. Like you said, you let go and you were just like, listen, you're pushing me away, so I'm going to just let go and let you do what you need to do. How do you know the difference between the two?
Each case is going to be different.
Yeah.
Also what I think, then Angie, maybe you have another perspective, but it's when this person is doing something that goes against their own integrity and dignity. To me. If this person is going against their own integrity and dignity, to me, more than a red flag, there's like 5 red flags. This is an alert system, right? When the pain is so deep that that this person is already jeopardizing who they are or their integrity. That's to me the one. And I will kindly and gently go back and say, I know you're going through this. I'm here for you. I know this is your process. I want to walk this walk with you, this path with you. And I'm walking beside you. Yeah. I'm not going to pull you. I'm not going to push you. I'm beside you. Right? I see this from the outside and I love you. And I'm here when you're ready. Like a gentle touch, like a gentle putting your arm, you know, when someone grabs you, something like that. To me, that would be like an alert.
which is okay as long as the follow-up is not additional toxic, abrasive, or the explosive behavior that we mentioned in the last show.
Exactly.
So as long as that's for me though. This is me saying it. I can be here for you because we're not going to all go through life and make all the right decisions. We're not going to do everything that everybody else wants us to do or how they feel like we should do it, right? So I can be there for you along your journey. But for me, as long as I'm not receiving toxic behavior from you, abrasive behavior from you, or explosive behavior from you. Because then at that point, we have now transitioned into something else. And now I have to protect myself from you. And now you're violating my boundaries while I'm trying to be there for you. So that's my thing. And honestly, that's how I am in my friendships, relationships, family. I will be there for you no matter what, no matter what's going on, no matter what you're dealing with, no matter what it is. You, however, cannot in turn treat me like crap, I guess, is what I want to say, or be abrasive and explosive, or, you know, I can even deal with, I don't want to talk about it right now. I can deal with, I don't want to deal with it right now. I can deal with, I don't want to talk about it right now. Or just leave me alone about it right now. I can deal with all of that. But once the behavior and the responses turn nasty, or disrespectful, because just coming full circle, talking about respect and values from the beginning of this conversation, that's kind of where I draw the line. And okay, all right, then you really need to do this without me.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest boundaries, I'm sorry, quickly. One of the biggest boundaries is that we cross the boundary by going back the you should. Oh, you should do this. You must do that. No. The touch point that I mentioned as gentle should be like this. How are you? What do you need from me?
My gentle touch point with my folks is always, how are you managing? How are you managing? Because we're all dealing with something. So whether it's been job loss, house loss, death, finances, breakups, you know, I never lead in with how are you doing, because I know how you're doing. You're hurt, you're sad, you're depressed, you're down, so always, how are you managing today? That's usually how I deal with, you know, my circle of folks, because I feel like that's open-ended, and then they can say, well, today I feel like insert whatever it is,
For me, it is asking, how can I best support you? And this is all fantastic. And I want to make a quick pause for the cause because I know we came to the time. How about we do this? And I'm going to put it to the both of you and you let me know. How about we have a session for the next one? We'll do Brave and Uncomfortable Conversations Academy style. This is something that Minue and I love to do, and we talk about forgiveness and what does that look like and how do we initiate the conversation? Because it takes some bravery to have a conversation with a friend to realize whether or not you need to let it go, or even a significant other. How about we do that for the next one?
Absolutely. Let's do that. And I'm so glad you did that. I know we're on some on time constraints right now. So we're going to continue that on into next month. I hope everyone who is watching and everyone who is who's listening really truly enjoyed the show today, and I hope that you were able to get something from it with your friendships. I know I've had some comments in the chat, and I know people are texting me, watching, saying certain things as well, and so I thank you to everyone who watched and who listened today. We are going to continue this on, and we're going to get into those uncomfortable conversations next month. And we are going to have the ladies back, Minue, Angie. You guys know I absolutely enjoy, and I enjoy you both. And when you're here, like I said, these conversations feel like home, and they are necessary. And it's imperative that we're having these conversations because this is the only way for all of us to heal as a people. So thank you both so much for tonight. And we'll be talking soon, of course, behind the scenes, and then you guys will be back and hopefully in studio, and then we'll just keep going from there.
All right, and don't miss the next one.
Yes,
which is at the workplace. Red flags at the workplace.
Yes, we're gonna get into red flags at the workplace, and then we're gonna get into those uncomfortable conversations as well. All right, thank you so much. Thank you. I'll be talking to you both behind the scenes.
Bye, thank you.
Thank you. And to everyone who watched tonight, I love you guys for watching, and I love you guys for listening. And I just hope that you're going to stay with me along this healing journey, because you're going to get something that's going to heal you as well, because it's also healing me. So hopefully I can help. And I'll talk to you soon. God willing, I'll be here next week. Same time, same place, different show. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.